when I look at myself from the outside in, I have always been, or I grew up to have enough confidence in myself, knowing that I am going to finish this. Now, I'm saying generally as a person, I like to see things through, for good or bad. So I don't like loose ends. And I can compare myself to other people that I know, and some people are like, yes, but for example, some friends of mine would be like, you know what, no, if it doesn't feel good, I quit. That's okay. So conversely, I had times when I used to go out when I was much younger. I'll go out drinking to Pacheville till 4 a.m. in the morning. I'll drink half a bottle of vodka. And then at 7 or 8 in the morning, I used to jog from Birkirkara to St. Julian's, seeing the same guy that sold us the vodka. And he's like, he does a double take, and he's like, didn't I see you like 4 hours ago? And I was like, yeah. I did that even more recently. I had like long nights out, and we used to have like a team long run on Sundays, and I used to be like, yeah, I know that I went out and I drank way too much alcohol, but I gave my word that I'm going to run.
And that's self-discipline.
So it's good because it's self-discipline, yes, it's
Yeah.
good because it's self-motivation, and sometimes I used to convince myself, like, I am the worst guy off in this situation, meaning other people had a long night's sleep, they drank a lot of water, they ate rice yesterday evening, I just had a pizza 4 hours ago over a stomach full of gin or what have you. But I'll still run the same distance and I'll actually overtake them if I can. So, in that sense, I used to believe that even though I might be in a worse situation, I'm gonna strive to do what I need to do. A more recent lesson is that, the lesson in that is that, there is mind over matter. Yes,
Yeah.
if I am determined to do this, I know that I will do it. Full stop. But, on the other hand, what my injury taught me is listen to your body. In the sense that, whilst running a half marathon and trying to beat your own personal best, do you have to listen to your body? Yes, to a certain extent. Meaning that after the 15th kilometer, your body is going to start hurting you in places that you never thought existed.
Yeah.
And you've got to ask yourself, is it really my body that's hurting me, or is it my mind trying to create an excuse for me to stop?
Yeah.
But in the end, we need to listen to our body, because if we don't, that's how we hurt ourselves, that's how we injure ourselves. So it's that fine line where, yes, listen to your body, but do you always listen to your body or not? And back on the planning aspect, just like anything else, running requires planning. If you're going to race, you need to plan. If I had to come here using my bicycle, I had to plan.
Yeah.
And that also ties to my line of work, which is implementation of standards, which are all based on 4 principles. The 4 aspects: plan, do, check, and act. So for any activity that we do in life and in business, we need to do those 4 steps. Plan, see what you need to do. So if tonight we're going to train,
Yeah.
then I need to plan at what time and what body part am I going to do, and what exercises I'm going to do. And I also know that if I tell myself tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 6 in the morning and train, unless I have planned the session, it won't happen.
Yeah.
So the plan needs to be well defined enough for me to be able to execute, which is the second step, doing. So I wake up or I do my session. Then I check. So I check if what I did was effective. It could be also that maybe I noticed that, okay, I need to plan better. Or what I planned wasn't good enough because I still didn't wake up. So I need to change what I need to do. And then acting. So acting would be, what changes do I need to implement so that when I do this cycle again, I improve on it. Again, it can be applied to
Yeah.
anything. So if you want to do the expedition, you
Yeah.
need to plan. What are you going to require, the resources, the tools, etc. You need to do the expedition. You need to check what we are doing during the expedition, and we need to learn what we did right and what we did wrong, so that next time round we learn even more. So, yeah.
Funnily enough, in Scouts we have this principle which is very similar to that. The plan, do, review approach. So it's three
Okay.
steps, so it's not four, but it's very similar. As you plan, you do, and you review. It's sort of you reevaluate and you start back the cycle. But the most thing that came to mind as you were explaining is that the importance of sometimes we have to think, and we need to be aware that we are thinking. So we're thinking with intent, and sometimes we have to act. So we have to think like a machine. Sometimes you just have to do it.
Yes.
No questions asked. If you have to train, if it's in the calendar, sometimes you have to do it. And it's okay to say, I'm not feeling like it today, but it needs to be disciplined as something that helped me. Yes.
In fact, you mentioned having a coach. Okay,
Yeah.
so I had realized when I started running that when I started running more frequently, that I don't like the planning part. And I wasn't good at it. So just like anything, if you want to improve, if you want to reduce your half marathon time, you can either try and do it haphazardly,
Yeah.
or else you can gain that competence, you learn, you read a book, you buy a training program or buy an app or whatever you need to do, or else you could get assistant, you could outsource that part. So I got the help of a coach, and I used to tell him, you're the coach, you're the man with the plan, tell me what you need, tell me what you want me to do, and I will do it. And I will train. I will not question. I will follow your plan blindly, in the sense
Yes.
that you tell me what I need to do, and I do.
Yeah.
And that's why planning is so important, because if you say I want to train upper body tonight, and you don't write down your workout, and you change in your clothes, and you
Forget
do your
it.
warm-up, what are you going to do then?
Yeah.
So that aspect needs to be, okay, now I plan this, now it's time to execute. And time to execute, even though during the execution you might realize that something is off, sometimes it's better just to complete the workout as it is, as it was written,
Yes.
as it was intended, and then change it the day after when you're planning the next session.
Yeah.
So yes, I get that. Sometimes you need to be like, it's go time.
You have to do it.
That's it. I have to do it. And I have to do what's written in there.
Yep.
So when I outsourced this part to my coach, it was simple. Because I was like, you know what? You're the man that with the plan. You do the magic. I just need to execute. If I don't execute, you need to hold me accountable.
Yep. And it becomes an issue of accountability. So if you don't plan, you're shooting yourself in the foot, especially in training, because you can't wing it, or you can wing it, but if you wing it, you're not receiving the immediate reward, which is I managed to follow the plan, and you can track your progress. So over time, if you wing it every day, you don't have a target. The target becomes blurry, so you don't have any reward. So at some point, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, you will be stumbled with this question: why am I doing this?
Yes.
And you lose motivation. As soon as you lose that thrill of training, as soon as you feel that you've accomplished something big in training, you lose interest. Especially when you're training alone, in the sense, if you're training in the gym, either at home or either in the gym, and you don't have anyone to compare yourself to, it's very easy to be disheartened.
In fact, that's why getting a coach is I mean, again, getting a coach or getting a personal trainer, automatically you have increased your accountability because, again, how many times are you going to cancel that session at the 11th hour?
Yeah.
You'll do it once, second time round, you'll be like, I already did that last week, now I have to go. Get a training group, get people with similar interests, get in a running group,
Yeah.
because that way you'll be like, okay, now it doesn't feel that bad if we run 15 kilometers and we're 15 people and I can have a chat with the guy next to me. If I had to do it alone, that's a totally different question. And also there's the sense of group now. Okay, I need to go because there's a group and we have to do this together. And thirdly, I had read another quote recently was like, you only need motivation for the first session. After that, it's all discipline.
Yeah.
And discipline is just being consistent. And some of my friends that train every day, why is discipline important? Because motivation, it's going to wear out, and it wears out very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are you going to be like, okay, I'm
Let's do it,
pumped
yeah.
up, I just downloaded this playlist on whatever platform I use, I got ready, I listened to this song, now we're here at the gym, let's go, okay. That happens maybe once, twice, 3 times. After that, it's discipline.
Yeah.
It's go time.
How would you summarize the word discipline?
Discipline. So, being disciplined in this sense is probably more about being consistent. It's I think I would look for I would rather have that aspect. Well, disciplined in itself, it's more about consistency.
Okay.
So, through example, recently we were restructuring our own company, and as part of our process, we came up with certain numbers, let's call them measurables.
Okay.
Obviously, we set the vision, we set our mission and our strategy and where we want to go. So what's our purpose?
Yeah.
Where are we heading to?
It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 10 years' time, in 3 years' time, and this year. What do we need to achieve by the end of the year? Perfect. And now chunking it down to every quarter. Perfect. So once we had that in place, then we said, which numbers are important for us? So in terms of sales, in terms of the operations, in terms of the billing, which numbers are important? So if we are, let's take an example of this podcast, you might say, for this podcast, I want to have it driven to being, I don't know, the number 1 podcast in Malta or internationally. I don't know. And these are my numbers. I'm going to report every week the number of followers on our YouTube channel or the number of likes on our Facebook page. And these become your numbers.
Yeah.
Then, once you've set them, we planned, is the do part. Now we need to be consistent. So every week, I'm going to be measuring these numbers and writing them down in this system, knowingly that at some point I might realize that these are not the right metrics. So this happened to us. We've set our numbers, we started collecting information. After about a month and a half, we were like, okay, but we set these metrics up. But are they the right metrics? And we started questioning them. And then we took it a step back and we said, okay, these are the numbers that we've set. We now know that they are not correct, but we're going to continue measuring them. We're going to continue following them up because now we need to do it for the sake of being consistent. Because the easiest thing to say would be, but these are not good. So let's scrap them. So let's not measure anything. No, we know that they're incorrect. We're going to continue measuring them. After these 3 months have passed, we will change the numbers again and we will continue on our practice of being consistent.
Okay.
The reason is this, that consistency is more important than the actual number itself. Because as soon as we lost, or if we lose our consistency, then we start questioning everything, then we start questioning everything in the wrong way, saying, now since we didn't fill in these numbers, then we maybe skip this weekly meeting. And why are we doing this system again? And are we sure of the 10-year target? And so that's why I'm saying sometimes being consistent is better than actually stopping a discipline because you know it's the wrong discipline.